Doug Bess.
Dougie.
Coach Bess retired from coaching in 2014 after 30 years of coaching in Michigan. Beginning in 1979 at Northwestern Junior High. 27 of his 30 years were at Battle Creek Central. His teams won 5 conference championships, made the playoffs 10 times, and had 21 consecutive regular season wins from 2001 through 2003. Coach Bess had the distinction of coaching the top 3 passers and the top rusher in Battle Creek Central's history. He served as the MHSFCA president in 2012. Biggest thrill in coaching for Coach Bess. Many singular moments were thrilling, and coaching the teams that had undefeated regular seasons were great also. But looking back, I would say that being able to coach my 2 sons was the best. What coaching has meant to Coach Bess. Coaching has allowed me to develop close relationships with the men I worked with, and it has let me pay forward in the same manner what my coaches did for me. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Doug Bess.
Thank you. Thank you, Jack, for the introduction. We're told that we have to do this real quick, and I've been to a number of these things, and I know this, there's 14 of us up here, and so there's 13 groups out there that really could care less what I have to say right now. So I'll try to do this as quick as I can. I want to thank the University of Michigan for hosting tonight, and also thank the association for the honor. I want to congratulate the other inductees, especially 2 of them, Steve Hordisky, who I had the pleasure of when I was a young man starting out coaching against Steve. We coached against each other in wrestling, and kind of struck up a relationship at that time. And then later on, I had the privilege of coaching with him, and also coaching Matthew, who's here in the '96 All-Star game. And then Coach Dennis Stansberry, who's from our hometown of Battle Creek, who is really is the guy, not Greenman, but Stansberry is the guy behind Battle Creek. He has coached here for 31 years and does a great job. I have 2 goals. First one is I need to get this speech done in under 5 minutes. The second, the people from Harbor Creek will understand this, is to try to get it done before Dennis falls asleep. I just want to, there's a number of people I want to thank. I need to start out by thanking my parents. My mom was a real avid sports fan. We lost her a couple years ago. My dad can't be here tonight. He had a bout of vertigo, and he's back in Battle Creek, where my youngest sister, Jackie, is there taking care of him tonight. And I've told this to several people before. My parents never set us down and said, hey, this is what you have to do. You know, to be successful, you have to do this, and this, and this, and this. Instead, they showed us by getting up every day and doing the things that you should do as a parent to be successful. And for that, I thank them. Next, my wife Linda, of 36 years. She's a very good coach's wife. We did things, when I came out of school, I couldn't get a job in Michigan. It was way back in the late 70s, and the car industry had really fallen apart. We picked up, didn't know a soul, moved to Texas, and we were down there for 5 years where both of our boys were born. She's an outstanding coach's wife. The coaches' wives that are out there in the audience, my hats are off to you. For us coaches, it's pretty easy to be on the sideline working, and we're so caught up in the games. Why you have to sit up there and listen to the know-it-alls say things about your husbands and the ones you love, And you do that without responding. And that, to me, that's pretty amazing. So Linda was a great, or is a great coach's wife. My two boys are here tonight, and Casey, our youngest, is followed in my footsteps. He's coaching at Battle Creek Central. He just was named the head baseball coach, as well as coaching football at Battle Creek Central. And I was lucky enough to be able to coach him and coach with him this past year. And it's very good and fun to do that. My oldest son, Michael, and his wife, Jessica, are here. And Michael is as good an eye for football as anybody that I've ever met. He just happens to see the game real well. He went to the black side and officiates now instead of coaching. And, but he knows the game of football. And I'm glad that they're here to join me in this honor. And then I have my older brother, Mike, and his wife, Colleen, who are here. And Mike really is the first influence on my life that I ever had in the world of athletics. We shared a bedroom as kids growing up, and there were many nights where we laid in bed at night and just did nothing but talk about the Tigers, the Lions, you know, and every sport that was going on. He's a very good coach in his own right, especially in the sport of baseball. And it's still great to have him, and going to have him for a long time. He's just went through a bout with cancer and has survived. And so it's good to have those discussions again, although the women think that they're arguments. We just call them discussions. And what's really good is that now we got Michael in case he joins in. And so around our household sometimes it can get really loud. And that's my family. I'd like you, my family, to please stand up and be recognized. Besides my father, there are three men who played really important roles in my life. They're not here right now, but they need to be acknowledged. First one is Dr. Jack Maudsley, who was the superintendent of schools at Battle Creek Public Schools. Mr. Jack Shills, who was our athletic director when I was growing up and was like a second dad to me. And then the man that was my coach and mentor, the late Bill Evans. And I just wouldn't feel right if I didn't mention their names while I was up here. I have many friends, and I can't name them all, but there are three in particular that I want to name. One of them is up here next to me, Ed Greenman, who for a lot of years we were just, I think, acquaintances, and then in the last about 6 or 7 years, and Ed just retired and I'm retired, we sort of become very good friends and helped each other, I think, work our way through this retirement stuff. And the other two are my two closest friends that I have, Steve Hosher and Tom Hansen. Tom was lifelong friend. I mean, first time I remember Tom, he was a little 7th grader. And we ended up playing sports together and everything, and I'm just very thankful that I've got two guys like that in my life. And I'm happy that they could be here tonight. I need to thank all the players that ever played for me. I was fortunate enough this year, I was counting up on our staff at Battle Creek Central. I had 6 guys that were coaching that had played for me as players. And so it was nice, but that's why we coach, you know, it's for the kids that play the game. And speaking of coaches, I've coached with many, many guys. 3 in particular I need to talk about. Lauren Granger, who's the president head coach now at Battle Creek Central. I want to thank Lauren. He gave me the opportunity to come back and coach the last 2 years, and just can't thank him enough for everything that he's done. And he's coaching now, Casey's coaching underneath him, and Battle Creek Central's back on the right track and going in the right direction again. And then the last 2 are guys that I coached with for 21 years, Dick Bush and Al Slammer. And they're more like brothers to me than they are co-coaches. We went through ups and downs. We raised our families together. We went on vacations together. And you couldn't ask for better people to coach your kids than those two gentlemen. We developed bonds, I think, that will never be broken. And lastly, I want to thank the game of football. I think it's the greatest team sport that there is. And I also think that it's under attack right now, but I think it's safer than it's ever been. And I think it's being coached better than it's ever been before. And I think it teaches our kids so many of the lessons that, I'm sorry, but aren't being taught very much anymore. It teaches them to get their rear ends up after they've been knocked down. It teaches them that they can't do it by themselves, that they need teammates and they need to be cooperative and work with other people. And I thank the game of football because it gave me so many opportunities and it allowed me to make so many relationships with other people. So once again, thank you very much.